Good evening. My name is Brandy Weaver Searcy, and today I'm here to interview a Virginia Union University student, Nicolis Monroe. Hi, Nicolis. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine.
Awesome. Well, thank you for being a part of my show. I just want to ask questions regarding your background, thoughts about the school, and why you attended here, or things that interest you. First off, what's your major here, and what do you want to accomplish with that degree?
My major is criminal justice, and what I want to do with that degree is become a federal air marshal. And I might start by entering into the military, followed by a series of federal governments and working my way up.
Oh, so what made you go into that path?
Well, my uncle, he was an air marshal, and he always was like the second father to me. And I wanted to do what he did when he first took me towards the airport. I didn't get on the plane, but it was kind of fun being in the airport and seeing all those people. And it was a rush of everything.
That's amazing. So you aren't afraid of heights or anything?
No, I'm not afraid of heights.
See, you're lucky. That's awesome. So where are you from and currently live?
I'm from Washington, D.C., born and raised in Southeast, east of the river, and I currently still reside in Washington, D.C.
Awesome. So how is your city different from the one that you attend in school, Richmond, Virginia?
DC is very different from Richmond because it's more, everything is the city life. However, in Richmond, you got some places where it's just the city and other places is so rural and robust. And also, Richmond is very industrial. It's a lot of abandoned buildings and stuff. So it's kind of hard getting adjusted to it, being away from DC.
Well, are you the first of your family that is or has pursued to earn their bachelor's?
Yes, I'm the first in my family, and that means a lot to me because the ones that came before me, they were unable to do it. So I kind of got a lot of responsibilities to take and a lot of rewards that's going to be given later on.
So who pushed you to be able to get your bachelor's?
Actually, my father kind of pushed me. I'm not going to say he really pushed me, but what he did kind of inspired me to go further because my dad, he dropped out after I was born, and he dropped out of high school, and he had to get his GED. And it was kind of complicated for him to try and raise me, so I want to do more for the next one, basically. I want to do more for the next generation.
So can you describe the difference of you in high school in comparison to college? How have you improved or changed?
I improved a lot. I take everything more serious. I take school serious. I take life serious. In high school, I didn't really take everything serious because everything was mainly given to me, or it was taught to me.
Is college harder to you than high school?
Yes, college is much harder than high school.
How so? Can you elaborate?
Well, it was more so like the setting that you're in and the teachers, and it's not just the teachers. The teachers in high school, they want to help you, and in college is like they want to help you only if you come to them. You take the time out of your day to go to them to get help.
So why Virginia Union instead of like a bigger school?
Virginia Union is kind of like high school 2.0 because it's so small. Everyone knows everyone. It's like a huge family, and I like that. Based off a huge school, which would have a class setting where it would be 50 students or 75 students and just one teacher. Instead, it's like 10 to 15 students and that one teacher. So the teacher gets to know you, you get to know the teacher.
How do you manage your academics and social life in college?
I can start with the program I'm in called VCAM, Virginia Union College of African American Men. It's a mentoring program. I use that program to balance out my social life and my academics because I'm in a social setting of young black men that want to succeed, do the same thing that I'm doing. So part of that being social, we all push that towards our academics and help each other.
Awesome, that sounds good. How important do you think it is to finish college, especially as a black male?
It's very important because we are technically a minority, so we kind of want to work our way up and basically, how can I say it? It's very hard for us in life.
Oh, so do you think the generation of today and under, do you think the black males care about college as much as, before?
Not really, especially in DC. I see a lot of young black males always in the streets and running around instead of worrying about schoolwork and not really in tune. It's more so the black males that are student athletes or people that are student athletes because they can get somewhere with that athletic scholarship. But academics, they don't really take it serious. They don't really take college serious.
If you had any type of power to be able to change that aspect, what would you be able to do? How would you be able to improve that? Help academic wise?
On a collegiate setting or on a high school setting?
High school setting, so they could be able to get to collegiate.
High school setting, I would show them what the college life looks like on the good side and the bad side, so they can see the experience that they're missing out on.
That sounds pretty cool. So, are you thinking about graduate school, and if so, which one?
As of right now, I'm not thinking about graduate school. I'm thinking about undergraduate so I can finish, and then I'll get on to that.
That sounds understandable. Since you are from Washington, D.C., with everything going on, what are your feelings about the missing girls from your city? Do you think there's any possible way that this can be fixed?
Yeah, it can be fixed, but I think it's not enough awareness to the situation, how there are over 75,000 black girls missing in the U.S. entirely, and that should be something that the entire world should be worried about. The black woman is the mainstay of a home. So I think it's being taken very lightly, like it's just a situation that'll pass when it's something that's very serious. There are mothers, daughters, aunts, cousins, nieces, all out there missing. And in DC, it's been talk of or rumors about an underground traffic ring. And when news reporters asked the mayor about the situation, she basically denied it and said that it's being taken care of.
Dad, do you have any advice for those girls out there?
Yes, stay in groups, be in time before curfew, and always carry protection, whether it's a taser or mace, anything, and always have your parents or a friend on speed dial.
That's good advice. How do you feel about living in the nation's capital, where President Donald Trump now resides? Honest opinion.
I feel embarrassed, to be honest, because America is supposed to be a place where people will travel to or people will journey to get a new life started, when they're not even allowed in. Or in most cases, when they are, they're treated less.
Well, what were your first thoughts and feelings when he was elected president?
Immediately, my thought was that America's going to blow up. That was immediately
That's a
my
little
thought.
over,
I
it's
mean,
a lot.
what's going on right now kind of proves it. I mean, he just sent bombs to Syria. So basically, in my head, I thought basically he's bombing Syria because Syria bombed Syria to teach Syria not to bomb Syria. That's basically what he's doing. And another thing, Syria is kind of allies with Russia. So if Russia was to get into that situation, then
we are
a whole
all
new
doomed.
world war would have been started.
Yes.
And earlier today, I saw on a social media site that basically the U.S. has sent a MOAB, which is a massive ordnance air bomb, which is one of the biggest bombs that's non-nuclear, over to Afghanistan for ISIS caves. And basically what's been going on ever since he came into presidency has just gone down.
That answers my next question. How do you think DC was going to change over time? But
Yeah.
terrible.
I mean, I was there when everyone was rioting in the streets, And the moment his inauguration came, it was just a lot of people. There were Satanist followers walking down the streets saying that they were going to protect us from Trump. I mean, they're Satanists. So it kind of like, it was just weird, the whole entire inauguration. But if you look at pictures of the entire field at Barack Obama's inauguration or other presidents, you will see that it's a full field. But for Donald Trump's, only half the field was covered with people.
Yeah, it was more people at the Women's March. So
Yeah.
it said a lot. Growing up in D.C., what was it like in comparison to now?
Growing up in DC, it was kind of easier to live. It was less things to worry about. Back then, I didn't have to come home at an early time until I got to high school when the crime rate started rising. And the neighborhood that I was in was always in constant territorial, territorial war with others. So it kind of made it hard for me to actually grow up in that type of environment. But I lived through 18 years of it, so.
How do you think the DC public school system shaped you as a person academically?
It shaped me. I didn't really take anything serious until I got to high school when my mom made me go to a actual preparatory, collegiate preparatory high school. And when I was there, I actually got to improve everything. When I was in middle school, I used to slack off a lot, and I didn't take grades very serious. But when I got put into this school, I just I became an IB student. I became inducted into the International Baccalaureate program. I was considered one of the top students in the school. So it kind of gave me an advance.
Awesome. So what are your thoughts about the black-on-black crime versus police brutality in the city?
I think that in the city that the police brutality should not be, it shouldn't be taken lightly just as much as black-on-black crime, because a black person will kill another black man and nobody will snitch, or they'll be quiet about it, and they'll take it lightly. But if the police was to say brutally beat a black man or kill him, then it would be all over the news. It would be everywhere. People would be trying to find out who the officer was. They were going to have protests about it and all that. But if a black man in the neighborhood killed another black man, they won't take it serious. They'll just be like, oh my God, he died. Let's have his funeral. Let's have his candlelight. Boom, it's over. We got work in the morning.
Do you think celebrities should add more or talk more about these issues?
Yeah, celebrities should talk about it because they have most of the influence, because on social medias they have millions of followers, and their picture is everywhere, unlike ours. Their voice is everywhere, unlike ours. So they can take advantage of that and fix a lot of problems in the world.
Awesome. How do you think the career of your choice will help you in some way impact the world? Or do you even think it will impact the world?
I think it'll impact the people on the plane. So basically what a federal air marshal do is he gets on the plane, protects the plane from any casualties or anything happening on it. I will make a change in the world because Homeland Security wasn't formed until after 9/11. So with that being said, it wasn't really a type of defense for America. Now that there are multiple federal air marshals that's getting on planes, protecting the people from any terrorist attacks or anything that can damage the entire plane or the people on it.
Wow. It's a big job.
So I feel as though every time I would get on a plane and defend those people, when we get off, when we touch down, I can say I saved those people or I protected those people. Those 50 people getting off that commercial flight plane, I protected those. I defended them.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being able to talk here today. Last question. I just wanted to know, why did you choose a HBCU over a PWI?
I guess because a HBCU will give you so much culture and academics that a PWI can't give you. So it's different. Like I wouldn't want to go to a PWI. I would love to go to a HBCU because I want to see people of my color succeed just like how I am.
Well, that sounds amazing. Thank you so much for joining me in this conversation. This is Nicolis Monroe, and I'm Brandy Weaver-Searcy.